Hey guys, this is White Flash. I wanted to walk through Crossroads and kind of the new design ethos behind this map. There's been some questions about some of the decisions being made, and I want to address these one at a time. Nobody should be expecting COH1 Crossroads or COH2 Crossroads. Both of these are basically obsolete in their final form. And we've really got to, as a community, think a little bit harder about what we want from our maps. There's talk about this elevation being basically obsolete and useless also. Elevation in the game, is a question right now where people think it's too overpowered. I don't think people should be jumping to any conclusions. It'd be fairly simple to tweak the power that elevation brings to the game. And I think it's more important that we try to use as many features and make this game as interesting as possible, while also maintaining the balance that we always strive for. So the center here, first of all, I savvy that buildings are OP right now, or they feel OP. Certainly on offense, they are way stronger than they have been in the past, but it's worth pointing out that they're also more fragile than they've ever been. Not to small arms fire. Small arms fire doesn't really do dick to them. But things like anti-tank guns completely destroy buildings far faster than they ever have.
Here with me.
Also, mortars. Mortars clear buildings so fast it make your head spin. Probably
focus on the gun.
Here
I'll
for
deal with them.
reasonable.
We got this. All right, follow me.
Units that get destroyed in these buildings from anti-tank fire. Again, this can happen at range, but these buildings don't last very long. The consistency with which they hit and the rate that they destroy buildings, it's pretty quick. I know this looks like it's taking some time here, but consider, stone buildings from COH1 or COH2. They would be extremely hard to destroy and take a lot of time. There'd be inconsistencies with the damage, and they would resist a lot of damage types. In any case, these buildings are exactly symmetric. They're just different colors. Thank you, Relic, for giving us some models that are the same building but different colors. The window count is no more than 3 on a side. There's 1 here, 2 here, 2 here.
We must use our
here.
available manpower.
It's exactly the same on this building. I also don't think people are considering mortars. I know they say they're not meta, but that doesn't really make much sense if there's a problem on the map. Or if there's a problem on maps in general and it can be easily solved and exploited with 1 unit, people need to consider them. Mortars absolutely decimate anything that's in cover. They decimate anything in buildings. They don't tear them down nearly as fast as AT guns. The rate's about 1/3 or half. But the fact remains that mortars clear buildings extremely effectively. So that not being considered an option does not make sense. AT guns should be an option. Mortars should be an option. Flamethrower should be an option. And good old-fashioned grenades and flanking should be an option. So I want to be very careful to pigeonhole options when we're considering what works and what doesn't go through. With that in mind, these are still symmetric. The garrison in the north, the idea is that this section of the map is always, up here specifically, a lot of shit normally happens in here and in here. This back corner, nothing really got too busy in the past. I don't think there's any good reason for that, considering the options to flank on this map. I do savvy, I think Orange Pest brought it up, that the map felt a bit small, and I actually really agree with that. When I first, partly because the bases need to be bigger, and we've got new unit comps, but this whole map got increased in size. I think the width will really make a big difference there, but everything got pushed back something like 15 meters or 10 meters per side, 10 in-game meters. Another thing, so if we come over the corners here, if you have, it's not a good example, if you have squads along the corner here, normally when you come up here, you can't really get much done. It doesn't give you any options to flank. There's no line of sight blockers. There's no garrisons. This change, or some variation on this change, should be basically nothing but an improvement for the map, because it gives the player defensively and offensively options, okay? You'll recall there was a kind of a laney chunk on Nexus where you could
You got
stick
it, buddy.
units in here and hide them, use them for ambushes, use them to place mines,
Bazooka
use them for
team!
different kinds of tactics. That is the intention with this chunk of lane.
We got the word,
It
gentlemen.
also blocks this building, so it doesn't have too much coverage. But these
Let's
little bit
pack it up and
features where you
move.
can go around the building, attack this area from behind because this turns pretty campy, that should be an option.
I'm inside.
Garrisoning this building,
Go.
covering the VP and only the VP, I think is fair. AE, I think, correctly pointed out there should be another shot blocker up here. That has been applied to both sides.
Orders coming down the chain.
I also
Get
want to
out.
urge people
Warm up
to
and prepare
continue to
move.
experiment with different tactics on this map. I'm a little bit worried that because this map is the structure and the bones of this map is so old that people very quickly get into the same routine that they used to. You know, camping certain sides, doing certain strategies, and not experimenting. Again, I think it's a mistake for the
keep those
community to
bazookas
sit
on the
in
wings. Let's go.
an environment where we
Shake
just
a leg, fellas.
try to repeat what we've already done.
Jump to it, boys.
This shot blocker here was shifted down. I want to just clarify this a little more. This might move a little bit in the future to down here-ish, because I think this area, generally speaking, needs to be broken up. That's the goal of putting these things in here. 2 may have been too many, you know, remains to be seen, but you know, little stuff like this garrison got moved back, so there should be the ability to move units through this area without any issues. You know, pathing's constantly being reworked, shot blocking's being reworked. The openness of these hedges too should make this feel better from a flow perspective. You know, there's so much camping that occurs behind these hedges, and that's okay to a point. But the fact that these are heavy crush hedges really means that this is going to last into the late game where, you know, there should be more movement on the map. And right now, it feels pretty good, and I think it'll continue to just get better. And as far as TAC map resources layout, yes, this TAC map looks like hot garbage. I certainly hope Relic is working on this because this is a no-brainer in terms of something that needs to get fixed for players that use it constantly. But, you know, the sector layout is also radically different from, maybe not radically, but it's substantially different from Code 1 and Code 2. With the 16s being moved, I think when those points got revamped, when Elper and Orange Fest and A were playing and examining this, I think that was a good call, certainly. You know, from the north, you've got 2 points to cap to get to the 16. Horizontally, it's the same. You know, it's the same thing where you can get the manpower and the fuel to get to the 16. All these points are equidistant, so, you know, this HQ being moved into the corner makes it so this block of sectors and this block of sectors are exactly the same distance from this HQ, like within 5 meters. Likewise, in the north, obviously, this entire map's rotationally symmetric, so the viability of both sides should be absolutely something that people can approach and can utilize without this split being the same over and over. So, yeah, that's, you know, my 2 cents. I'm probably missing some things, but thank you guys for testing, and the feedback is completely invaluable. You know, the janky replay viewing has been very painful, so the more you guys can stream this stuff and send me PMs for streams, the better. Yeah, and we'll just keep working on it, and I think this will be a very good competitive map for the future of Co. Thanks, guys.